Love you. Hey guys, a lot of people ask me to review knives that are on the cheaper side. Shouldn't really say cheaper, just more affordable. Not everybody can or wants to buy $500 knives or $350 knives, and I can totally understand that. You have to really be into knives to want to spend that kind of money. So I can completely understand the idea of keeping it a little bit on the lower side. And honestly, you can get excellent knives for $150 and under, and even way under in some cases. Like $30 knives like the Spyderco Tenacious. It is an incredible knife for $30. Even though it's made in China, it is an absolutely incredible knife for the money. What I have here today is the Cold Steel American Lawman, and as you can see, they look totally different. This is the one I've used, and this one is new in box. As you can see, I stripped the coating off, and I also stripped the lock bar back here, not the side of it, just the top of it, and I kind of polished it so it's kind of reflective. To me, it just looks classier this way. The black coating kind of chips really easily, and it just kind of looks mall ninja-ish with it all black like that. I don't mind it being black, but I just prefer it with the stripped blade. And honestly, if you don't have any paint stripper around, you can just scrape the coating off this knife without actually scratching the blade steel. If you use something softer like the screwdriver on a Swiss Army knife or something like that, that's actually what I've used before. It works pretty good. Cold Steel American Lawman, I think it runs right around $60, $65, and it's an amazing value for that price. You're getting AUS8a steel, which in the case of Cold Steel is actually very good. Cold Steel doesn't actually make knives. Cold Steel just designs and then outsources the actual production to another maker. So they never actually make a knife themselves. They just develop it, get somebody else to buy or make it, then they put their name on it and sell it. So Cold Steel has some cool designs. They have some really funky designs, but designs like the American Lawman and the Voyager and a couple of other ones are actually really good functional knives. And this is just a beast of a knife, especially for $60. It's incredible how tough these knives are. Like I said, Cold Steel uses AUS8a for I think every one of their knives, save for a couple that use Sandmine and Carbon V and stuff like that. But AUS8a is their predominant steel, and in my experience, it's a really good steel. It holds its edge. I may get flamed for this, but about as good as Spyderco's 154 cm. And that may be surprising to some of you guys, but in my experience, it does hold its edge a very long time for what it is. It also likes to take a very keen edge. It is extremely easy to get this steel hair whittling sharp. It just seems to help you along in the sharpening process. So I'll get more into the knife. First, I'll start out with the G10. It is extremely grippy G10. I guess I'll show you on the new model since it hasn't been handled. The G10 is beyond grippy. It's almost like sandpaper, literally, like 200, 120 grit sandpaper. It's rough. And talk about grip. It's out of this world, grip-wise. The G10 under the clip will chew your pants up in short order. What I do is take the clip off and then tape off a little square area underneath the clip. I've done it to this knife. You can kind of see some of it right there. And I'll just Dremel it down, smooth out the G10, and it helps tremendously. The knife is just G10 with no steel liners, and honestly, I had the old model with the steel liners. This feels just as strong, but it's a lot less weight. As you can see, the G10 is very thick, and it will not flex on you at all. It is tough stuff. very hard, does not flex. Even when you're prying with a knife, it doesn't flex. It is solid. I mean, it is the definition of solid, this knife is. It's unbelievable how tight this thing locks up. It's honestly pretty amazing. So the G10 is good. I would call it good. The only knock I would have against it is the extreme grippiness, which does go away after you use it. This knife is a lot less grippy than that one, but it's still extremely grippy. Probably the grippiest G10 that I've ever felt. It is screw together construction, which is good if you need to take it apart or you want to take it apart to strip the knife like I did. It's very easy to take apart and get back together. The pocket clip is good. It's very, very, very strong. It does ride fairly low in your pocket. About that much will be sticking out. It is reversible. I think it should come with 2 pocket clips, but it is tip up only, which most people prefer tip up anyway. The lock is the Andrew Demko Triad lock, which is basically just a backlock knife with the addition of a stop pin inside there. And basically what this does is takes a lockback knife and puts it on steroids. Instead of forces being put on the lock itself in a roundabout way, negative and positive force is always distributed onto the stop pin, which is seated in the G10, which therefore distributes the pressure on the lock throughout the whole knife. It's incredibly strong. I'm not sure I've ever heard of a Cold Steel or Demko Triad lock failing ever, and I don't think it would. If you go to Cold Steel's website, you can see a schematic of the lock and how it works, and it's one of those ideas where you say, why didn't I think of that? And it's brilliant, and it functions exactly like it's supposed to be, and it's all just due to the addition of one little dowel right there. I mean, it's essentially just a dowel, but it serves its job and it works extremely well. I think it's the strongest lock on the market, and that's not just conjecture. I think it's been proven. Build quality for $60 and for being made in Taiwan, I would have to say it's superb. The knife is finished extremely well. A lot of people knock Cold Steel, and they see the cheesy demonstration videos and they think, well, Cold Steel is just gimmicky. And honestly, their marketing is gimmicky, but some of their knives, like the American Lawman and Voyager, are not gimmicky. They're exactly as described. They're excellent knives. Fit and finish on this is what I would call, if I had to grade it, I would say very good to excellent, honestly. Everything is flush. There's no gaps anywhere. Of course, it's not going to be Sebenza level or anything like that, but you're not expecting it to be for $60. It's more than enough to make you happy that you purchase a knife. Let's put it that way. The thumb stud is nice. It can be adjusted if you're a southpaw. You see how the thumb stud has threads? Well, you just need to back it out and see how this is set up for right-handed. More of the thumb stud is exposed on this side. You can set it up for left hand just by backing the screw out a little bit. Pretty clever. Pretty clever. Also, if you use chemical stripper on the knife, the coating of the blade will come off, but the coating on the thumb studs will not come off. So they must be Parkerized or something similar. Blade shape is excellent. A lot of belly. I mean, the whole blade is pretty much belly. A nice subtle curve. It cuts like crazy. The hollow grind is very thin at the edge, extremely thin. And that's where the AUS8a shines. They ground it very, very thin, but it's tough enough that it won't chip out. It'll just deform, and it's easy to bring back just by stealing the edge. I don't know if I can demonstrate how thin this knife really is at the edge, but I will try. There you go. You can kind of see that is extremely thin at the edge. And because it is that thin, it cuts very, very, very well. I should be doing a cut test video with this knife coming up fairly soon as I get some rope. Ergonomics wise, honestly, I sound like I'm working for Cold Steel or something, but it's excellent also. The various grips are just really intuitive, very comfortable. There's no hot spots. The only knock I have against it, this grip is perfect. This grip is perfect. Reverse grip, this little nub right here does wear on your ring finger. And that's only if you grip it like that. If you move up just a little bit, put your ring finger there, it's a non-issue. Gripping it like this in reverse is fine. The ergonomics are superb, honestly. With the grippiness of the G10 and the ergonomics of the handle, once you lock your hand in place, it's not going anywhere. I mean, it's there. It's solid. Smoothness, it's very smooth. As you can see, it's very, very smooth, actually, for having that much pressure on the lock. Centering is good. It's, I would say, perfect centering, which is also surprising. I wish you guys could feel how smooth this knife really is, because it's pretty amazing. Just a little bit of a wrist flick and the blade comes forward. It wouldn't do that if it wasn't smooth. And there's no grittiness to the action at all. It's just a really, really smooth opening knife. Overall, it's just a well-built knife. There's no getting around it. I would say it's one of the best values under $100 that there is, and I hope Cold Steel continues to make this knife. If you don't have it, I would give it a shot, and if you don't like it, you can always sell it. But I have a feeling if you actually use your knives, if you get one of these, you'll like it a lot, because it's just meant to be used, and it does that really well. I am going to put my PayPal information down below in the description. I've already gotten a very, very, very generous donation, and I'm going to use that to buy some rope for testing, because I'm out of rope, and that's what I'm going to use the donations for, is to further my channel. So I thank you. I'm going to leave you anonymous. I know me and you have talked. I really appreciate it, and I'm not expecting $100 or anything like that. This guy donated $15, and it was honestly way more than I was expecting. When people said they would donate, I was expecting $2 or $3 max. So very generous, and don't feel like you have to donate. I'm just leaving the option open, especially since I don't have the benefit of AdSense anymore. This is going to be the only way I can fund my channel. So if you just have $1 you want to give me, or $2, that's perfectly fine. Everything is welcome, and every little bit helps. So thank you very much, and thanks to my subs. Everybody, I should have a contest coming up soon, so be sure to enter that. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.